So now, at this point of the year, you may have realized, if you're very close to me, that I'm a little bit distant, or I'm not talking a lot. And I am just here to tell you that it's not that I am doing it intentionally. I'm doing it as sort of my therapy. I've been going through a bit of I could call it a challenging time. I couldn't call it a hard time. But that's, those moments where you feel like this is grooming me for something. Yes, that's how my year started, and quite a bit tough here and there. But it's now all going back to line. And best of my old episode, the previous episode, where I was talking about how hard it is to make critical life decisions, I promised that I would make a follow-up on whatever decision I will have made then. So I decided to take on a new job, and in this new job, my new boss requires me to build sort of a new department in his company. It's more like me building his dream, but also building my dream. And that's why today I want to talk about reconnecting with your dream. At this point, I'm feeling like I'm reconnecting with the dream I had in my mind when I went into campus to do my bachelor's. And even after doing the bachelor's, the dream that I had to do whatever I had to do in my profession to be where I want to be. And right now, 2025, I feel like I'm starting to reconnect there. You see, life has a way of making us forget the goals and the dreams we have. And that was the way January started for me. It kind of made me forget the dreams that I have and the professional dreams that I have. If you've been following a bit, I also do a little bit of graphic design on the side. But when I left my old job, I set out to focus on the small dreams that I had. One of them was the graphic design. I think I've tried to go back, rebrand the thing from BM Artistic to Artistic Studio. By the way, you can check it out. My graphics are quite, I won't say very, very good, but they are good enough to help you elevate your brand. Anyway, back to the episode. You see, the distractions we have in life, the different responsibilities, the self-doubt, the unexpected curveballs, or anything that comes around to distract you from your dream. These things make us forget, and it's just life. It makes you forget the big things about life, the things that actually matter. And if you're lucky, you will wake up and realize that your dreams are distant. And that is because there is a bit of a fire inside you that is still burning, that is still craving for the results after that dream. Anyway, let's dive into the episode and see how best we can reconnect with our dreams. For many young people, the biggest illusion we have is that we have the time. And I'm also a culprit of this, but recently I've just learned that you need to take life seriously, because it's the only thing that you get once. Every day comes once. The 27th of this month will be the only 27th of this month in this year. And I'm not saying this because, sometimes we may sound more of like inspiration or what, but it's a fact. And there is nothing like, oh, one day will come, what, those things. I don't want to believe that the one day will come when life will turn out right or something. I believe that today is the complement or the compounding effect of whatever that one day you're thinking about to come will come. When I look back, probably on my past job or the past years, right after campus, this journey of self-improvement and growth has taught me one thing. Comfort is a dream killer. In my previous job, everything was okay, but the scalability of whatever I was doing, that if I left that place at one point, would I have picked anything towards the formation of my dream? Ideally, yes, I picked something, but it didn't need me to stay there for, let me say, 5 years to pick that one thing that will propel my dream at the end of the day. So that's why I made that decision. Okay, I also never had very many options, but I made the decision to leave at the end of last month. Now, I was lucky that last Friday, I woke up to about 3 offers on my table. And it was unexpected, but I'll say, because I'm a believer, it was inevitable. So you have to be a believer also. God will always come through. So I had these 3 good offers. 2 of them were in sales and 1 was in property management. Now, the brain loves familiar things, like I said in the past episode. I chose to do the facilities or the property management. And why I chose that is because I saw very many signs or very many indicators of me growing in that place. Now, using the experience that I got from my past job, I would easily help or impact my new job. I feared sales, maybe because it's not at the right time in my life to do them. But in this other job, I was also sort of going to do them with also the thing that I know, the thing that I've been doing. So that's why I chose the other one. That along the way, maybe I'll learn that new thing. Because obviously, everyone has to be a good salesperson to make it in business and to make it in everything that we do. Which brings me to the next thing in you reconnecting to your dream. Now, in reconnecting with your dream, the most underrated thing with this new generation Z and X, I think Y, Z, whatever those generations are, is mentorship and relationships. And I've learned this the hard way. I've realized that the major thing in any industry or any dream is relationships and mentorships. Because they are everything. It's everything that you need. Because the right people can open doors you have never seen. Like those you never knew even existed. And yet so many of us try to figure it out alone. Because, okay, don't blame yourself. Because I also see why it happens like that. You see the generation that I come from, Generation Z, the Gen Zs, the Gen Zs, most of us grew up in that environment where they don't allow you to go out so much. Okay, I don't know, but personally, they didn't allow me to go out so much. have very strict parents, and yeah, the circles you had were a bit small. The most exciting thing to me was always going back to school, because I would meet my friends and things like that. But that's how almost everyone has grown, because it's in Generation Z that you hear people are being homeschooled, people are being what, people have small circles. So we tend to try to fix everything ourselves. In this new phase of life that I have begun, I'm being more intentional about who I learn from and who I surround myself with. So if you want to grow and reconnect with your dream, you need to ask yourself these questions. Who in your industry or what you do, what dream you want, has already done what you're trying to do? Because this person knows all the steps throughout. The only problem with Uganda is there is a sort of break in the oral tradition. People no longer want to share ideas with people because of the competition, because of the fear that you could make it better than they did. However, you can get people who are ready to share the knowledge. Personally, I would be ready to share the knowledge of everything that I ever built. There are colleagues that come to me asking for advice on how to start podcasts, how to do this, and really I give a lot for free for now. Along the way, when my listeners make me great, I will make maybe a starter kit for podcasting and things like that. But ask yourself who in your industry has already done what you're trying to do. Personally, when I was starting the podcasting, I really didn't ask myself this, but I tried to look for who was doing podcasting then. I really didn't get a mentor for my podcasting things, so I did everything from the beginning. So that's why I believe I would be a very good mentor. The other question would ask yourself, who are the people that are genuinely pushing me to be better? Now, my friend circle is really the only, and maybe my parents, my dad, very critical and meticulous gentleman. They're the only people trying to push me to be the better self that I have to be. And you need those people around you. Who are the people that are genuinely pushing you to be better? There are comments I get from some people and I rubbish them, but from my close friends, because they're only 3, and maybe my parents, those are comments that I would take very seriously and work on, because there are people I know that genuinely push me to be better. The other thing is, am I networking strategically, or am I just hanging around the same comfortable circles? Now, I have a rule with one of my friends that in a year we should at least go to every networking event that we can go for. The funny bit is most of these are for free. And last year we were able to go for, I think, 4. 4 is a very small number based on the number of networking events that are out there. And this year we are trying to be more strategic. Now, I have a small experience about networking. While I was in Nairobi, I went for sort of a conference in Nairobi. And in this conference, I met a lady who right now is the head of operations for the new company that I've started working for. Now, I don't know, but it's more of like karma. It's more of like life. It's a small globe, and it's always coming around. What goes around comes around. Now, while I was with her during that event, I kind of made this connection of us being really good friends, that we were talking and having a little bit of deeper conversations here and there, profession, dreams of life, what. And this person has actually been there to help me propel my career. When I entered the interview room, there was sort of a relief, and the pressure was lifted. You know that pressure you have when you're going for interviews? It was lifted because I saw a familiar face. And that's it about networking. And the other thing is that familiar face should also be able to remember you. You shouldn't be the only one to remember them. Or if you're the only one that remembers them, be very specific so that they can also remember that, oh, I remember this guy. Because it creates an impression that this is a familiar thing. And you remember, human decisions are based on familiarity. What someone actually understands is what they will take as a decision. They will rarely take a decision on something that they don't understand. Then, you should know that the goal isn't just about you knowing people. It's about you building valuable connections that align with what and where you want to be going. What you want to become and where you want to be going. So that's how I'm trying to do it now. Trying to be more strategic. I believe you can also be more strategic, because that's the essence of this whole podcast. Grow as I grow. Now, as we reconnect to the dream, we need actionable steps to get back on track. And what is a Bezos Chibozi episode without actionable steps? So the first thing you do is clarify the vision, clarify the dream, understand what exactly you want to do, where you want to be, who you want to be with, and how you want to feel when you're there, because you also need to feel good about the dream. Create a game plan. Like everything in life, you need to create a game plan for it. You need to create the way you first think about it before you do it. Because if you just go in, everything comes as a surprise. And like I told you, the distractions, the responsibilities, or what, all those things come in and distract you from your what? From your dream. But if you have a game plan, you have a way you're going to do the things, you always anticipate the solution to the problem before the problem comes. Then seek the right guidance. But now on this point, I would like to advise as a person that do not go for advice or guidance from someone you don't want to be. If you see someone is just there, they're not really focused on their growth, they're not really focused on making it in this life, do not seek guidance from them. Do not go to the devil to seek for guidance to become more spiritual or to have a connection with God. Do not look somewhere you cannot get the right advice from. Also, do not get very many opinions, because when you get very many opinions, you then lose sight of what you should do. Then, this is something I also want to do, but I've always feared, and that is taking more risks. You see, when you're in a job that is very comfortable, you tend not to take on very many risks, because you're like, they even don't pay me enough for that. They don't pay me enough to take their risks. But you see, in the risks and the mistakes we make is where we grow from. There shouldn't be very many mistakes also, but that's where we grow from. The last thing would be you being disciplined. And with discipline comes all success. Because all this whole episode, the whole podcasting thing, it's discipline. There are days when I don't really want to even record an episode, but I have to be disciplined because there are people who are actually there and are anticipating the next episode. How is it going to be? How is it going to help them? So the discipline of you always showing up, the discipline of you always following the rules to achieve your dream. Yes, you need the discipline. Now, on following the rules, if the rule doesn't really, if you can do away with it, do away with it. But sometimes you don't need to follow the rules to be exceptional. Otherwise, that's what I think we can do to reconnect with our dreams. My final thoughts on this is that keep dreaming, keep doing something about your dream every day. Make a plan, because plans are the first step on how you map out your life. Otherwise, I think this was a very good episode. If you liked it, please share it with someone that needs it. It's always Bezos Chivozi. It's always a Monday for Bezos Chivozi. And until next time, keep it at Bezos Chivozi. Let's keep dreaming. Let's reconnect with our dreams. Thank you for listening.